Ba-doop. Who we got there?
Hey, it's Kevin.
Kevin!
Yeah, my internet cut out right in the beginning of the
I was
race.
gonna say you had some early troubles.
Yeah, well, and I think I also somehow hit somebody, but I didn't see it. So that's the worst part. Right after I say everybody be careful on the pace lap, my internet does that weird. It's like every time when I join a server, within the first 5 minutes, my internet just randomly just snaps off. I lose connection, and then I can
Ugh.
instantly come back. Have no troubles after that. But it's
Ugh.
I don't get it. I don't know. And somehow, right in the beginning of the race, right as we were coming out of four, like the oval turn four to the green,
Okay,
Yeah.
the race
all
is
the
over.
cars
Bring
just
it on in.
went away. It was just me on the track, and I tried to get high to the wall because I was started on the outside to let everybody through. But when I came back to the race, it said I already had 4x and 3 laps down, so I just kind of blew my race up on me, or else I was one of the quicker cars. I just couldn't
It
do
hap-
anything.
it happened at the same time after I realized that I put in the code for the chat thing, but I must have mistyped it or something because it didn't take.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
ah. So I pulled onto the apron and was like cruising slow in third gear, and I'm trying to steer with the inside of my elbows and type in the code real quick. So I slowed down. I kind of lost pace, and then I was like, all right, I got it. And then I got on and I hit the gas hard so that because people kind of laid off when
Right,
they saw
right.
me doing that, so they opened up a hole and let me kind of fill back in. So I got on the gas hard to get back into that hole, and right as I did, I saw a guy turning sideways in front, and you were going ahead of the, you were going through the
Oh
crowd, and I'm like,
no.
oh
Oh
no.
no! I don't know who it was, but I got to figure that out so I'll definitely
I'll,
obviously look at the replay. But
I noticed there was a red car, maybe red and white, but I didn't actually catch
uh,
who it was
might have
that it
been
happened to.
it might have been Thomas Athen then. Oh well,
I think it might have been. That's because I'm thinking it was red with white stripes, and I think that's
yeah,
his car.
yep. And he ended up not finishing the race at 59 laps down,
I
so
was,
that was probably my doing there. So
uh,
oh well, that I don't know. I got to
it,
get that
the
connectivity thing
the
figured
one
out.
thing I can think of on the internet, and I used to be a blinker when I first got in with iRacing. I was one of the
Hmm.
guys who was causing trouble with everybody because
Right,
I'm jackrabbiting around, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's fine on mine. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, but enough
right.
people were telling me that I'm like, "Oh, okay." I spent a week digging through trying to find stuff
Uh huh.
every way that I could find. Changing the settings, messing with the DX 11, 12, whatever.
Uh huh.
I was trying to do all kinds of different things, and what it boiled down to for me, the little things might have helped, like the settings on the website for the iRacing or the general settings. You can change it
Huh.
so that it recognizes your bandwidth, or not really recognize it, but so you tell it you have this much bandwidth on the
Huh.
straight up on the website, the regular member site
Gotcha.
settings button. And
Uh,
then
the
there was some I can't remember, I think there was one other thing that like was kind of normal, kind of you find this and it was the go-to, but the thing that did it that fixed my issue and solved it forever was finding the what was it called? God damn it!
you,
It had to do with the router,
was
and
it the
it was setting in a parameter in the router that iRacing their UDP or
was
whatever.
it the universal plug and play, the UPnP?
No, it
No.
was. Let me. I
Hmm.
can't remember like the terminology for it,
So
which
like a
is bad.
no, you're good. I'm trying to think of. I might be able to ask, but this is the weird thing that, like I was saying, is when I first started. Yeah, I was a blinker, and my connectivity was crap. My ping was 300-400 sometimes, and I would blink in and
Ouch.
out. But yeah, but what happened now is
I
it's
know
not
you
that I
recently you lost it for like it was out and you had the service come by to get you up and running again.
right. That's why I had to miss Laguna Seca,
Right.
but now like the weird thing is I when I blink, I don't even blink. It's just like I'm driving, connectivity's great, my ping will be like 60, and all of a sudden the cars just go away. And on the bottom right of my screen where it shows my internet,
Uh huh.
I'm even plugged in Ethernet cable. It just shows X, like I lost internet, and then it comes
Ooh.
back. It comes back 10 seconds later, and then for the rest of the session, I have no problems. but it only happens when I'm in a racing server. Like when I'm on the regular web doing anything.
And it's actually like cutting your internet while it
Yeah,
resolves itself, and then you're
right,
fine.
right,
That
and that's why I'm so confused that I can't figure it out.
I'm into my router settings,
I'm trying to get to mine.
looking for that that option, whatever it was, and how it worked, and because it wasn't part of the wireless stuff.
So that's what I'm trying to do for
Was not attached devices. I'm wondering if
trying to
I.
figure out my
Oh,
IP.
hold on. Advanced page. I needed the advanced page. I didn't see that tab hiding there. It's got to be here. It's got to be here. Setup. QoS. QoS. Quality of service. There was a quality of service options that can be set for the router, and that is what did it. I deleted every standard default quality of service that my router had, and went with just the ones that were recommended, or not recommended, but that iRacing uses. And from what and it was something like I never really understood what I was doing, but I found enough pages and tutorials talking about it that I was able to figure it out and try a bunch of different stuff until I finally got it the right thing put in the right place so that it worked.
Huh.
And here we go. Set up QoS rule. It
It's
was
not,
it was
I
QoS setup QoS rule, and that took me to the list. And there was this whole smorgasbord of rules that were default settings on the router, and I just deleted all of them because all the different stuff that I wanted to put in for iRacing conflicted with them somehow, some way. They overlapped or whatever. So I deleted every single one of them and put in just the rule for iRacing and gave it the highest priority. And it is online gaming UDP 15,000 to 52,500. Those are like the channels that iRacing servers use. And it could be any one of those depending on where you hook up or where you're from or what, and don't know which ones, and I don't even know what the fuck they are. But putting that in, it like somehow it got rid of my blinking issues completely. It stabilized my connection to the server because it gave my router said, okay, your computer is connected to iRacing through here. So it didn't try on any of the other bajillion channels that are open to it. It only tries through those, and those are the only ones that iRacing uses.
Yeah, see, I'll have to look at that then, because...
And every router's different, too, so I found it through tutorials and search and guides and trouble-solving stuff through my router. But that principle, that UDP 15,000 to 52,500, that's what iRacing runs on. All their servers are on that. So getting that QoS set for that fixed it. But your issue sounds like really weird.
It is.
It's really bizarre.
I have no idea. And like right now, I don't know if this has part to do with it, but I can't. After my Wi-Fi went out a few weeks ago, I can't even find my my router. Like I type in my IP address, it's just not there now. So I'm I'm like baffled, dude. I gotta call Buckeye again and figure out what the hell is wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong with that. I had a few years ago lots and lots of trouble with the internet here. And it was just one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, and I literally kept going and calling, and it was just that annoying, like, it's in and out again, it's in and out. Well, I don't know, we can't get anything. The TV's splotchy, and then it's fine. It's just not clear all the time, and sometimes we can't get on at all. And I'd call to get service and check up. And they're like, everything's fine, everything looks great. So I kept and then they would try something, they'd do a little bit here, and be like, it works great now, but that's the way it is. 10, 15 minutes, an hour, 2 hours from now, it's just going to be shit again, and we don't know why. I finally gave up on. I just got fed up with dealing with the local office and went to the regional and went, something's got to be wrong. I can't be fucking crazy. I don't know what it is, but the service sucks. There's got to be a problem. And the guy in a regional field office in freaking Maine or whatever, I don't know, thousands of miles away, does a little check on his computer and goes, Yeah, something's totally not right on your system. I'm seeing a hub control down that's like affecting the whole neighborhood. So
Huh.
they pulled out and they dug up node after node after node down the neighborhood, and they cleaned up the internet for my whole for like thousands of people around me from this shit that was pissing me off. And it was amazing. But I haven't we've been good here aside from that UDP thing that I had to put in for the quality of service I'm talking about to get my iRacing, because I was a blinker after they fixed the node around here. I was still blinking with iRacing until I got that quality of service stuff junk set right.
Hey, good race, Mark. Good race, guys.
Hey, absolutely. Who's sneaking in here?
That's Ronnie.
Ronnie. Good stuff, man. I thought for sure you were gonna have some fresh tires and catch up with us from behind. I was tagging on to AJ, man, holding on for every bit it was worth and feeling him out and trying to take a measure of where I might be able to get a chance at him in those last few laps. I threw everything I could at him and as safe and aggressive as possible, and there was just no getting past him.
Yeah, you know what? It was sort of the opposite, man. I shouldn't have had a beer sitting here. I hit my button for my pit stop and was drinking a beer, and then looked, and I dropped off the pit stand. Never got tires at all on the first pit. Only had a gallon of gas on the first pit.
Oh no!
So then I had to stretch it like 50 laps or 51 laps on the first set of tires.
Ouch!
And then trying to do the math, like, is that enough? Am I going to make it? Am I going to even make the end of the race? You know, on one more. So at the end, I had wore out tires at the end. I had 37 laps. That's what killed me.
And
But,
I literally was like, what is Ronnie behind me for? Because I didn't just think that was going to happen. And then I went, okay, he must have done a 3-stop thing, so he's got to be coming out of the pits on fresh tires. He's just going to overrun us here in a few laps. And then you weren't, and I'm going like, go AJ, go! Keep going, we might be able to stay ahead.
I could not
Yeah.
go faster.
Oh
Yeah.
man, AJ, hey bud.
Yeah.
Man, I threw everything I could at you in those last few laps after watching it, after trying to take your measure. There was just no getting past you.
Yeah, I saw you there, and I always just had enough out of that last turn to be able to hold on. Me and AJ were in our team chat. He's like, dude, Mark's riding my ass. Not riding, he's like riding on my ass for like the last 20 laps.
I think I had some carbon monoxide poisoning there for a little while. I was so close.
you guys had a lapper tagged onto the back of you guys, and he actually kind of screwed me up. I pushed really hard, and I thought I was going to catch you guys. I was 13 seconds back, and got that close.
I think there was Ricardo was in there. He's got some good pace, and I think it was Ricardo who was tagging onto my draft for quite a while after we got around him, and yeah, so I'm not familiar. I didn't catch him giving you trouble back there. I had trouble with Harris. He got into, I don't want to call it a spat. He was battling with somebody as I was getting closer and closer overlapping. It was taking a long time for me to close the gap. And they got into a little scuffle, a little sideways action going into that the entrance to the carousel. And then I picked a hole because he was at a stop, and he got going right back in front of me, and I had to come to a dead stop.
Oh shit!
It happened twice because it happened like 3-4 laps later after I couldn't get around him for a couple laps. Just couldn't find a hole, and it was like, I'm fighting. Why am I fighting him? Shit! Don't wreck him! Oh no! And then I tried to well, I'm gonna have to try for it, and that slowed me up, and then I got steamrolled by 3 guys behind me who'd caught up, and then that same entrance to the carousel, he got sideways again, and I ended up coming to a complete stop again. I was like, oh, I had to feel bad for him though too, because he was in a killer fight before I was able to close in, and really, it would have taken me even a lot longer to close the gap on him because they were still a ways ahead, but then they must have got together.
I didn't even see you at that point.
Harris, I had a feeling you didn't know I was the couple laps after you went from a stop, after I came to a stop at the entrance of the carousel after you got moving again. You went right for that inside line that I'd picked my hole for. I was like, oh, don't T-bone him. And then it was about 2 laps, and I was like, I don't think he knows I'm here.
You're in my blinks on my left mirror.
Yeah,
and I couldn't see my rear mirror
I
because
kept thinking, okay, he's gonna go to the inside so I could take the racing line around, and then it was like no, and I don't have enough. You were fast enough that I didn't have enough confidence to like dive down the inside and try to steal it from you, and I really wasn't getting good presentation because I'm just not that fast, not that good. So I just couldn't take you. I couldn't take you clean.
last I saw of you, you're on my right side.
Yeah, that time where I got freight trained by all the guys, once they got around me, I was like, oh, there it is. He's gonna let them by. I actually was cussing a little bit. I'm like, oh great, let them by. You've been fighting me for 2 laps. You went hard to the inside and let them went on by. But I'd already gotten out of shape while they were freight training, so it took me a whole another turn or two to catch back up to you, and then back into the carousel and sideways again. So it was unfortunate.
Yep. I mean, when I went sideways the second time, it was because I hit the wall and pretty much wrecked my right side.
I didn't catch you hit the wall. It was that going into the entrance of the carousel, you got a little bit too far, wide
I hit
into the
wall.
entrance, and you got into that gravel of the on the inside of the carousel, right where you're coming into a break.
On turn 1.
No. Oh, that would I
Yeah.
guess be the third time. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I came to a stop twice at the entrance to the carousel, and then the next lap through into turn 1, I just let up. It's like I'm not gonna dive down and fight you side by side through there. I'm not gonna do that with anybody unless I have to, or like almost with AJ there at the end of the race. But yeah, you started sliding out, and I just got harder on the brakes, and I just waited and watched. I was like, oh, okay, where can I go? And I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Chapo at that time. He had the outside, so he just went ahead. He's like, okay, I got a clear road the way you were spinning. I was like, no, he's gonna be right in front of me here any moment. Locked them up. So it was enjoyable. I didn't hit you, so I feel good about it. In all honesty. And I'm still in here. I thoroughly enjoyed the race. Those moments were kind of tough, but
I was way off pace though.
Yeah, that was my bad early in the race on you, James, right? Because I think I rear-ended you in like lap 10 coming onto the oval, and I was just anticipating getting into the gas, and I just drove right into your fender. So that's my bad there. It was not a good start of the race for me.
I don't think I got any damage from it though.
I
only had 10 seconds swap short tires at pit stop.
If you saw from my end, I bent it in a little bit. So.
Oh man, well I think my admin fail there with disabling the chat as we're coming out of turn 4. I mean, talk about screwing up the beginning of the race. That had to just mess everybody up.
I wonder Can I blame my internet connectivity on you there?
That was actually my first thought when you mentioned that your internet went out. I'm like, I wonder if it's because I just got out of line and then like got back on it during the race. Like when it happened live, I thought maybe me getting on the gas hard because I didn't know who it was. I'm like, I thought maybe me getting on the gas hard and revving my engine to get back into that hole that I left open to put in the chat thing. Like inspired somebody to just floor it and start a wreck. And I'm like, oh no.
Well, yeah, who drove through there and rear-ended me before the race even started? Who was that?
Was it me? I don't know. This is the thing. What happened in the beginning of the race? I don't know if my internet like just dropped. I mean, right before the start of the race. So I tried to keep the pace the same on my car and drive out towards the wall to get out of everybody's way for when my internet cut through. But I didn't even blink. Like I can't even. It's tough for me to explain. I talked to Mark about it earlier. But my internet just literally dropped, just gone, and I didn't see any cars, and I tried to get out of the way, but it was probably right as everybody was getting into the gas, and I tried to pull off to the side. Next thing I knew. But
yeah, because I had a 4X before Jeff ever even hit the gas. I'm just driving along side by side with him, and I see a orange car come zipping up, and
I wasn't an orange
just
car,
cream
though.
me. I think he came from back 3 or 4 places back. I mean, it's like it looked like he came from way back there hauling ass.
I'm actually still got it open now. I'm looking. I just got to our pace lap.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
like a
looking
black
at
car from
okay,
back.
Kevin. It was Thomas Athon that who you got in the rear when your internet went out. Now
So
I'm looking
okay.
for Ronnie. You should be up front, shouldn't you? You're up front.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so let's. Oh, okay. Yep. Kevin was still. He was still going through. He caught a little bit of your right rear corner.
So I blasted through Tom, and then I hit
I'm
Ronnie.
actually got to back it up because I was looking at Tom. So let me see if you got
Shit.
anybody else.
Okay. It's gonna be rough.
Tom went out. Okay, you got Tom. Actually pushed Tom into Chapo, and
Fuck.
then pushed Tom off into the thing, and then clipped the inside of Chapo, and then clipped the rear outside of Ronnie.
Jesus.
And
I might as
then
well
you
just
caught
take
the. No, I think you were able to keep it off the wall. I'm not sure.
I'll have to see this replay.
think you got back in time just enough to keep it off the wall.
Damn it.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I got a little penalty for that
Yeah, that's
on my car.
that's obviously that's obviously
Yeah, I
on
get
me
it.
right there. That's no good. Yeah, I don't know. I just the worst possible time to have that happen was.
I
right
honestly
there.
wonder about because the internet, you know, it does a whole lot is based on guesswork of what's going to happen in the next 60, 50 milliseconds and whatnot. And
Yeah.
me just diving out of the line of all these cars on the pace lap in order to start typing while everybody starts doing weird stuff because of that. That's right when you blinked out. As soon as I went down to the apron, you blinked out. And then you come back, but you're not actually back yet, and your car's on the gas hitting people right when I got on the gas.
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean the thing is too, is like I said, it's not just this server that this league is in. It's anytime I get on iRacing for the night, usually it's only the first server that I'm in. After about 2-3 minutes, it just drops, but then I come back, and I never have one more issue, and I never blink. It just drops. My internet just cuts out for 10 seconds, and then it's back, but I have to rejoin the server and come on. Last week what happened is when I joined, qualifying at 6:45, the internet cut out at 6:50, and then I was good.
And
Today the same.
Then you don't have any. Then you don't get the time to qualify. So this time it held up. You got through the qualify, and then it went out right at the pace lap.
Well, maybe I have to remember. AJ, did it cut out on me when we first joined qualifying too, or only in the practice before?
I think maybe like a normal type of blinking, but like your car didn't blink, but like your voice did a little bit. But then that was only for like a few seconds right at the beginning, but it didn't actually drop out until we were on the pace lap.
Yeah, see, so maybe that is, it held on just long enough to make me F up everybody, just about everybody in the damn field.
Well, I'll make sure to post to everybody so that they know who to throw eggs and insults at.
Who to run over this next week, yeah.
And dig up everything you can on that quality of service setting for the router. It's at least I know it saved me from being a blinker. This issue is definitely not the same, but within internet's always weird. Nothing is ever the same. Right. Everybody's on different nodes and different lines, and you never really can tell. So
yeah,
it's worth a try to figure it out. And honestly, I still don't even know what the hell it is or how it works, but I understood enough of it after about a week of digging to get the right things put into the right place.
Right. I don't work Tuesdays, so luckily I can try to spend some of my day tomorrow trying to figure out what the hell. But the thing is, too, is since it takes so long and it's such an oddity on when it happens, I won't necessarily know when it is fixed.
It makes it impossible. Yeah, that speaks to general internet crap all the time. Inconsistent, incompetent connections, inconsistent connections, give and take. Sometimes it's great, sometimes not. Hey, they came out and they spent all day on it and they fixed it. It's like, well, then they leave. 5 minutes later, the same issue rears its head again.
Exactly.
It's like,
By
why
the way,
didn't it do
Jeff.
that all day while they were here?
Right. By the way, Jeff, good win.
Thank you, man. I'm just sitting here enjoying the conversation. Did anybody make it on one stop?
I
I
did.
did.
I did.
But I was
I
2
did.
laps back.
I made it on one stop, and I think I was conserving a little bit there, chasing AJ in the last stint. But I think I had plenty enough at the end that I didn't need to conserve any at that point.
I think I had 4 laps left.
It told me I had 5 laps left, which was 5.5 or whatever it does its warning at for the default spotter. And at that point there was only 3 minutes and like 12 seconds left in the race, so I would have still had a couple point gallons.
Yeah, I know when Macon got about within 13 seconds of me, I started to slow down, or 13 seconds back, I started to slow down a little bit, try to save just to make sure. Yeah,
So you made it on one as well?
I did 1 stop and 4 tires.
Nice. So that's me, you, AJ was one stop. Ronnie, your stop got all screwed up, right?
I think he dropped out.
Oh, okay. He said he was taking a drink off his beer and realized he had missed the stall, so he didn't get tires or gas or nothing.
Yeah.
I did one stop. I mean, I ended up 2 laps down, but I was going to make it too. I had the one stop strategy working. I just obviously didn't have all the laps to run.
Ugh.
Ooh, 3K. How many?
What happened to Gilberto? I noticed he had a tough race.
Yeah, it's going to help the guys up front in the points for sure.
I don't know. I remember seeing him in blue and going, "Oh, what happened?" I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get to pass Gilberto. This doesn't happen often. Revel in the moment."
Showing 32 laps down.
32 laps. Well,
Yeah.
I know he had a penalty, so he may have started in the pits. That's what I'm trying to check out now. Get back here
I
to
think
the.
I think I saw him in the gravel near the start.
He did look like he had a really rough race. He just kind of scouting it out and looking at him from what's the word I'm looking for during the week. His races, me and AJ noticed he was about 50-50 on the races he actually finished. So it looks like he was kind of having some struggles with.
I've seen him. I've enjoyed being in a couple of races with him, and when things go bad, when he gets caught up and literally just collected from other people's accidents, I see him a lot of times start closer to the back and then work his way through and go through clean, and I kind of admire that. But then I'll see the times when he does get caught up and the spin goes bad, he'll just quit. He doesn't, and that kills your IR. And if you do that as a habitual reaction, because things go bad in the rookie series quite often. And every time the hit you take to your troubles or to your ratings and rankings, SR and IR for just quitting, will do a killer. I had one. He was in a battle for first place, but there was 3 cars, so he was in third, and just biding his time and waiting, and first and second were fighting, and he was just slowly catching up to him, and it was at Laguna Seca going into the kink, and one guy went up the inside before the kink, and another guy pinched, so they spun out, and he got collected, and it was literally like he got swiped, and he went through the gravel, and there was the final lap. We got like 5 turns left. He could have limped the car home and still been first or second place, and he just disconnected.
Dang.
And I was just like, oh, so there you go. He went from a possible first, guaranteed third or fourth, limping a really damaged car back, and I don't even think it was that damaged, to 10th, 9th or 10th place, just like that.
Wow.
He definitely served his penalty. So he started in the pits, and then did his pass through.
Yep.
So I'm not sure where his accident happened. I'm looking for like a long lap.
I think he had about at least one or two accidents. He looked like he had just a rough race altogether.
That can happen when you don't get to or when you start in the pits, throw you off rhythm and out of kilter, and bad things can happen.
Mm-hmm. That is definitely for sure.
Well, that one was 100 or a minute and 20. Oh, a minute and 24. That was his pit stop. Oh, here's a 3-minute. Oh, it started off with a pit stop. So
I saw him pull off
back
one time.
now.
He pulled off the track and sat there for seconds. Yeah, I think I lost about 200 IR this week on this track. It's rough. I got the least amount of championship points that I've had this season, I think.
This track can man, when it goes bad, it can go bad ugly.
I mean, Jeff, based on what I got, putting everything in, looks like you're up to only 33 points back of first on Gilberto, and AJ's up to 40 back. Really
This
close.
looks like Gilberto might have had a hardware failure.
Really?
Yeah, he was on the straight coming down towards the finish line, and it just started to list to the right, and it just went bam right into the wall. And then the next lap, he went in and pitted for repairs. But it turned into the wall, and it just stayed into the wall all the way down until the cones. And then he got back on. Then he got back into it. I don't know. Home distraction. Cat jumped in the lap. Spilled coffee. Something went bad there and just took out the wall.
Yeah, I know, like, lap 3, I got, like, totally dive bomb and putted. So that set me back, like, 10 seconds.
Who got you there?
Punted in lap
Chapo.
3.
I think it was 3. It might have been the beginning of 4. But Chapo, I think, lost a little bit of control and putted me with him.
Oh, I remember.
And
I
then-
had a good view of that from behind. I
Yeah.
remember that.
And then, like, I got out in front of him, and so I was in front of him for, like, the next 10 laps, and he dove in some late corners that I was very surprised that he was diving in that late. And, like, I know he was slightly faster than me, but it was, like, he had a couple times where he dove in and there was no presentation, and I was like, well, hopefully he doesn't hit me.
Yeah, and it's easy at this track, unfortunately, when to feel faster, just being close. If you're in the draft,
Yeah.
the draft isn't strong, but it's enough of a confidence builder to be like, oh, I can take this guy no problem. But you're carrying that little bit of extra just because you're behind.
I mean, AJ, you want to tell about that pole run?
That pole run, Kevin was like just running his qualifying laps like 6-7 seconds ahead of me, and I was running mine. And I had a pretty good lap the lap before to put me up into like second or third. And then the next lap, I don't know what happened, but I was running crazy fast. And Kevin had just messed up his lap, and I was going into that last turn, like the last U-turn, and I was like 0.2 faster than I've ever been before. And I was like, slow up, give me the draft, pull me through. And then it got me to 0.003 into the pole.
Nice. Gotta love that. Teamwork for the qualifying is such a huge thing, and it's hard to organize. Next
still
season
would've been
we should have a longer qualify session. Will make it easier. I'm seeing where Chapo got the punt on you. It's at turn 1 of lap 4. He was out of control before even getting off the straight.
Yeah.
He
dove on me.
on his turn in, he hit the brakes and it started to go sliding. So he was trying to control it and save it, throttle brake, and it was just all the way. And it was inevitable. The only way to avoid it would have been for you to miss the line and to just drive all the way through it because he was coming. There was no stopping that car.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell you a lap, but over the ensuing laps, there was maybe 2 or 3 times where he dove or looked like he was about to dive low and pulled out really late. And I was like, what is going on? And then he finally dove on me late into the last turn on one of the turns and passed me. I don't know what lap that was. I might have got him again after that, but I was like, really, like, this is very late.
Especially this early in it too. I think I was even talking about it because I streamed this stuff and I think I was just kind of rambling, talking about, no, don't do that this early. It's I don't want to see that kind of stuff this early. There's no need to fight. This is single file for a while. Feel
By
it
the
out.
way,
Feel it
can I
out.
can I just point out that Jeff has LPI of almost 15 so far, which seems pretty freaking awesome compared to most people on here.
Is that the adjusted? Because that's like that
No,
sounds like a huge adjused.
The adjusted is only 0.2 below that because he's second with actual laps completed. So 14.4. So that's pretty damn good.
I know he's one of the guys who has the sought after 101, winning the race and the LPI ladder in the same event.
Yeah, that'd
we've
be
got
nice.
we've got 3 drivers who have done that now, and as much as AJ, you're having trouble with Chapo here in this race, he did it last race. He took the podium, took the top spot on the podium, and 0 points on the LPI.
And that's
Or
partly
zero
what
hits, zero
surprised
incidents.
me in some of the stuff, because I was like, he had 0 incidents last time, and I think I had 12 total this race, and 10 of which were from him. And so I was like,
yeah, that sucks. That's one shitty statistic right there.
yeah. There was one time, like I think it was lap 1 or 2, he barely like tapped my rear. I don't know why he was kind of riding so close, but he tapped my rear, and it gave me a 4X, and neither of us like even wobbled. And it wasn't even like a hard hit or anything. So I was like, okay, iRacing screwed us on that one.
Yeah, you got a net code 4X is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, netcode 4X is a hell of a lot better than getting the netcode instant death car death, where like you're 3 feet away and you're both going the same speed and they're not even near touching, and then all of a sudden it's like you just hit a wall of air and then your car just stops. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I can complain about him dive bombing all I want, but at the same time, it could have been a lot worse. And even him losing control on that one, it could have ended up much worse than what it did. Because I really didn't have any damage. I just lost 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a second place finish in the race. You're 17 seconds behind the leader. So you had a chance at staying with Jeff for the whole.
Yeah, I had to work through
some
traffic and stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, it was. I still ended up all right. So I was honestly glad that he had to pit right at the end. I don't know why, but he had to pit right at the last second. So I was like, sweet, maybe this is karma. I don't know.
Yeah, I just witnessed one. He's coming down it's lap 15, and he's got that. There's a peak down the inside into turn 1. And from what I'm seeing here real quick, it's like the run was there. His car is stable and steady, and he's on the inside, and he's going like, no, don't go inside. He's like keeping his pace, but trying to not get inside you with no presentation there. And it looks like there might have been a teeny little like paint scrape.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean that was. Overall, I mean, the bummer with me having to race from the position I was in, it sucks that I couldn't gain many spots, but that's actually good as a whole for the race. It's a great thing, meaning that most drivers, even though we had the shortest field yet, that means most drivers finished, within 1 or 2 laps, which is awesome.
All but 3. But 3 drivers. We've got 3 guys are out with minus 70, minus 59, and minus 32.
So, I mean,
we've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 drivers on the lead lap, and then another 6 that are 1 or 2 laps down.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's also like a track where there's a lot of places to spin and not really hit anything. But as a whole, we didn't really have many incidents over the whole thing. I mean,
besides that jackass taking out like 4 cars in the beginning.
In the pace lap. Oh, that jackass.
Right after he goes, hey guys, be careful on the pace lap. And then abruptly loses connection and runs over half the field.
I just stumbled on Chapo taking you in the hairpin, AJ.
Yeah, the very last one where we had a little bit of contact.
I actually stopped it once the hole got in. I don't think
Okay.
there's any contact here. This is early on, lap 15.
Well, there was one time that very last hairpin, he took a dive and didn't hit me on the way in. He hit me a little bit on the way up when we were coming up to the wall. This is a 0X. It was very light contact, but
Well, I know from my many laps behind you, I kept looking at the because this is what one of the standard recognized, like, hey, this is a best passing zone. Not in my world, because it's really hard to get presentation until you're in the braking zone. So it's not a good passing zone for me, but it is a good late braking zone. And you like to go out wide, which I like to do too, because it maximizes your early accelerator, so you can maximize all that oval section. And he just stayed inside, so he fills up your mirror. And then you broke hard. It doesn't look like he didn't steal it from you. You basically gave it to him out of fear or whatnot because he was there. And I thought about and tried doing that a number of times when I was pacing you, because for my if I drive the line that you were taking through there, I brake later than you do. So I was actually, a few times I took a peek, was actually to not punch you because I was caught off guard a couple of times.
Yeah, I noticed there was one time where you dove low, but you really didn't like try to stick it in there, and it was kind of like you like backed out of it, and I was like, I think that one I just caught him off guard.
I was so hard on the brakes on that one, not in order to get on your inside, but in order to prevent from T-boning you, because I was like, no.
I tried to leave a little bit of room in case you did have to over brake a little bit.
You did leave it. You left enough room, and there was enough. You left enough room with my late brake, and then oh crap, dive to the inside so that I don't just punt his rear end. There was a moment there where I could have lifted off and be like, oh, now it's a hole. Look, I made a hole. I can just go ahead and take this hole. And then it would have been, if you had not left a little room, I would have T-boned you. Clear as day, without a doubt. But you left the room, and because I was like still on it going, no, that's not my hole, we actually didn't contact.
I think that's all of my both MX-5 experience and the rookie street stock experiences. I'm a little bit overcautious if people look like they're about to dive in, and it might give to a little bit more positions I give up instead of getting a no presentation call, but at the same time it's like I don't want to wreck.
You and me both. I'm the exact same way, and what I've been doing recently, and what that helps me deal with that, because it sucks when it's like, I keep giving up spots, and it's like they shouldn't be taking that. That's disrespectful. You shouldn't do that. And boils down to I've started to take it upon myself that I'm leaving the hole. This situation is different because that wasn't really I don't have enough ability to late break it in there for that hole.
Well,
but people will at random all the time in the official series sessions. So what I've done is taking a little bit more responsibility to my own, and am not leaving the hole. I'm driving them defensively more, and not going to that racing line and expecting people to just stay behind me and pass me on the straight. I'm preventing that hole from opening.
There was like once or twice you had a decent run on me, and I kind of took that like middle lane on the straightaway where it was like you could try to go high, you could try to go low. And there was one time I thought you were going to go low, and I was like, I'll give him the room if he wants it, because he had the run.
I had the run, but I had the run where we would have been side by side into the first part of the braking zone, and it was just not. I wasn't comfortable enough to do that, both for your sake and my sake. I was like, no, if I'd have had a little bit better run, then maybe. But it was like I felt that I might have gotten what I would call poor presentation, and I look forward to going back and seeing it, because who knows. But even if I had good presentation, it wasn't enough for me to take it, because I haven't experienced that tight side by side through there, and I know I know enough that if I didn't get the braking just right, I would have just washed out and taken both of us. So
Yeah,
basically, it made my braking zone earlier than it would have been on the outside line, which is natural. That's how it should be. And I probably just got on it too soon, which worked out fine, really. We both made it to the end. And I actually, man, thought for sure I was going to be able to give you a good fight. The best one, the most exciting was one that I planned out going into the entrance of the carousel. Because you would go
on my outside.
You go far right into that one and brake hard and then turn really tight. And my natural line is farther to the middle left of it, and then downshifting and braking through it. So I was like, well, let me just move my line over a car width and see if that'll work. And it did, and it really got a side by side, but I couldn't get on the gas. I couldn't keep the rear planted enough to actually get any acceleration after getting presentation on your outside.
Yeah, you actually got to where my left front was in the middle of your car. Like, you were actually pretty much past me, but I could tell that you were starting to wash out, and
couldn't
that's
keep it.
my line, is just to hug the bottom around it.
Yep.
I felt like it was smoothest, saved the most tires for the whole run, and so that's always my line. And I was like, you had me. I was like, I expected you to try it again later, but
oh, I did. I tried it again multiple times, and I tried to get to, by trying it again, I was trying it come turn 1. I was coming out of turn 1, I was trying to set myself up so that I could have that little bit of run into that carousel so that I could get it again, because that was the only spot that really felt natural for me to overtake you, where it was safe and worked with my racing line and your racing line, where I could see what was going to happen. And, but the issue I was having was that every time I got into attack mode, I couldn't keep the rear end planted. So it would swiggle a little on me, and then I would lose all my acceleration and pace, and then I was like, now just hold his draft a little bit more. So I just didn't have it. Loved every bit of it, but man,
it was great racing.
It wasn't there. Absolutely, it was. And we're like barely more than halfway through season 1.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we're able to put some more people that are interested in this league next year or not next year, next season to get going and enjoy this.
How many did we actually have in the? What's the number?
Only 15.
Yeah,
today.
only 15 today, so it was a little lighter on the count. It did seem like the social pubs were a little quiet coming into the race time too. When the hell is Halloween? That's not like tonight, is it?
Midnight, I guess, but...
Okay, so yeah, everybody's out throwing eggs or toilet paper in their neighbors' houses.
Well, Shane was around. I didn't know why he didn't show up.
He got punished. He was gonna make it, and his mom came in and said, "No, you're not allowed on the computer tonight because he didn't do some homework assignment." So I scolded him as best I can. I put on my best dad presentation and was like, "Oh, respect your parents and do your damn homework."
Right. Fuck, I don't know why. I gotta figure out this internet thing.
Yes, you do.
I can't even access my router right now.
So was there only one new guy this week?
Well,
This race?
Yep.
Yeah, there was a new name this week.
And he finished pretty well.
It wasn't new. He was with us in the exhibition season.
Okay.
Right.
He's not new like a new recruit. He was with us in that 4 week test run we had. And yeah, he's middle of the pack, 2 laps down.
Nice quiet
It's
race.
a good showing.
Because it's a smaller track, there were a good number of people that were a lap or 2 laps down that didn't wreck, didn't have anything like that. They still finished the race fine, maybe 3 pit or 2 pit, I mean. But like, it's good to see that many people able to still run at the end.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've had, there's been a growing statistic in how many people are finishing on the lead lap and how many people are finishing in that 1-2 laps down. And it's nice to see the shrinking statistic of how many people are going out in those early laps. And since we can blame that douchebag Kevin for wrecking everybody on the pace lap, I think that statistic's not even valid this week.
Right? Shit, I still can't get over that. Not only did I ruin so many people, dude, like I I've been right up there in the top 5 trying to run for that like a podium spot.
Well, you would have been our 7th person on the lead lap, and it would have taken one person off of our didn't finish list.
And I would have closed in on the on Gilberto a little bit more. Not that I'm really in contention right now, but I mean I could have been a lot closer.
Kevin had the same pace as me the whole race, just to kind of put that in perspective. Like even practices, everything. Like I had a slightly faster best lap, but like our average laps were identical.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I mean, I wasn't really getting past the whole race because of the position I was in. I ran down quite a few people. I was passing lead lap cars. I just couldn't obviously be on the lead lap.
Well, I think AJ had the funnest race of all of us, the most interesting race, because I've just been letting it play in the background. I'm like not really paying attention to it, but it's just playing. The replay is just going on while we're enjoying this conversation. And I'm thinking I spent probably 3/4 of the race kind of all off on my own until I caught up there with AJ, and we had our thing there for that final stint. But I've just been letting this play, and I mean, he's back and forth with Chapo for the whole first half of the race. And then come the end of the race, then he's got me all over his tail sucking carbon monoxide.
Well, I was
trying to dive the carousel.
I was telling Kevin the whole time, even like when Ronnie was approaching, I was like, I would much rather have Mark behind me because he's going to try to make sure he gets presentation. I was like, I know Chapo hasn't been, and then I was like, I know Ronnie's too fast where he'll get presentation and pass me, so I'm like, just stay in front of Mark, I'll be okay.
And I kept going. All right, don't pressure him because I need you to go. I need you to go fast so Ronnie doesn't catch us. So don't pressure him, and then like look for a mistake, and then take the shot if it comes, and then maybe I should make a mistake. Time's running out. Just keep trying to. I was like, if I could have driven and taken notes, I swear I was taking a whole sheet of notes on where's a good spot to go and what happens. Does he twitch left if I go this way? Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, definitely a great race, guys. It was fun.
Yep, that was awesome.
Guys, I'm gonna go stick my head in the freezer, and then I'll come back and